Hello mate, how you doing? Yeah, Dungeness. Well, I just thought I'd give it a go. It's not getting much near us, are we? So I'll probably head down by the boats. Better chance of dab. We'll probably get a dogfish, wouldn't we? So possibly. Actually, I did check this time last year. Was where we had the dab. So hopefully Dungeness will throw one or two up. Try and get out this wind a little bit down by the boats. Can actually come through the barrier, park a little bit further up. I've already parked now. Always worries me they'll close the barrier for some reason. And that's where we're heading, over the top there. There is a reason why I've chosen this part of Dungeness today. It's where the shingle meets more of the mud. Okay, so we're down on the beach. There's a few anglers around. Let's get the bait in and I'll tell you what we're using today. Yeah, come on the fish. A lot of seabirds out here today, just in front of us, and it's pretty much where the mud meets the shingle here, so we shall see. Oh, this venue does throw up quite a bit of razor and shellfish get washed up here, so I'm tipping this lugworm with some razor. You do need bait elastic for that. Onto the trusted Cascade rig. What I'll do then on this multiplier rod, some of that, like a squid cocktail, hopefully for our dogfish friends. 6 ounce lead as well. I'll do a gentle little pendulum. Hopefully I won't snap off like I did last week on my first cast. That's just on the pulley rig there, clipped on. Right, let's see which way the tide's running here, because the tides do run really fast here. You can see here, it's like a little pinch point in the channel, and you do get some real rarities. Thresher sharks have been seen off here, for example. We won't be getting a thresher shark today. Well, I don't know if you can see from there, we'll just put my back to the wind. I don't know if you can see, but the waves are coming in towards us here. We've got deeper water there and it's coming onto this shallow, more muddy, silty ground. That's what I'm hoping will make the difference here. It's not quite the point, they call it the point, but we've just come back round into another bay here. The other thing with Dungeness, things like this washing up, clues to what can be washed up. After a storm, it's an incredible place here to find lots of bits. Washed up bait, I mean you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of lugworms can wash onto the beach alive, and certainly all the shellfish here. Nothing as yet today. We do have the birds working out here though. Talking to Steve in the tackle shop about bait, I can never really look after these lugworm well enough. So these are, you see what's happened to these. These are 4 days old and these were live worms, but they've spoilt, so they've basically the juices have come out and it's killed all the other lugworm. But what they do, my local tackle shop, Hastings Angling Centre, they can look after these worms a lot better than me, is they'll make those fresh. They'll put fresh water in there maybe twice a day and it keeps the worms alive. Problem is I put them in the newspaper. And they spoil. So angling in 2022 is to look after my leftover lug after a session a little bit better. I I do put the work in these diggers as well. You can of course dig your own lug, but they've worked hard to get a few on these smaller tides. There you go, we will use the fresh ones, and we've got sticky smelly ones. Sometimes stickier, smellier lug work better for dab. I can see the turnstones here as well. These little birds, they love a lugworm. Let's hope the fish do. Oh, this is stuck fast for some reason. That's pinged out. The sound, that squeaking sound is the braid. Something small. It's not thudding. If it's anything, it's something small. Ah, brilliant. It's flat. That's a good start. It is a dab. That's what we've come for. Brilliant. Yeah. That's a good sign. There you go. Oh, look at the colour of that. Totally green. Look. Amazing colour. Incredible colour on it. I've never seen a dab that looks that green. I'll show you on a measure for the dab. It's oversized, a little bit thin. A strange looking thing in terms of the marking, but it's rough on the back, almost like a flounder dab hybrid. Well, 23 centimetres is a keeper. I'll get a little fillet out of that, but isn't that bizarre? Totally weird. Okay, so the tide's turning a bit now. I've rebaited that. I've just caught that little dab. It's bizarre, that green dab. I had to go and ask somebody. So it is a dab. I had to go and ask another angler, is this a dab? It's just so green. But yeah, different pigmentation, I think. Right, let's get this one out. Ever so easy to cast these with a braid, Continental. I think what's happening here is the tide's ripping through a little bit, and the shingle, maybe some silt's just burying the bait, or certainly the lead. I'm going to change this for a 3-hook flapper if we get it out. Just want to get lots of little baits in the water. If those dab are there, this will give us the best chance. So yeah, that's freed the lead, the griplets have come out. Remember, this is the pulley pennel on here, but we haven't got anything. Or maybe we have. Yeah, something on here, I think. No. Yes? No. No. Definitely no. So we'll change that. I mean, it has been eaten. But that's smaller fish having a go at that, so we'll put a smaller hook on. We just swapped this for the 3-hook flapper, which we all know. I put little floats on here. I don't know if it's going to make a difference in these conditions, but I want a little bit of buoyancy to these smaller baits, because we are, obviously this is getting buried, but I want to make sure that these are as light as possible rather than being buried with the lead as well in this shingle. Right, let's cast this one in. It's a mixture of live worms there and some of the older, stinkier ones. It's all very slow time at Dungeness. Strange old place with the backdrop of an old nuclear power station. I don't even think there's nuclear anymore. There's a lot of bird watchers here. Rarities, you see people with their binoculars and zoom lenses. And we've got a boat coming down now, so I've got to be careful where the lines are. Well, it's two fish. Two fish I didn't really want. Two that I didn't really want to see. Rockling. Usually feed when everything else can't get to the bait. Now the clues were there with that winch coming down the beach, but there's a boat coming in just about 20 yards to the right of where the lead is, so rather than risk it, I'll bring this bait in. Oh, he's stuck. Definitely a lot going on under the sea there. It breaks out, but it doesn't have anything on it. You're sort of feeling for that extra weight on the line, but it hasn't come. So we'll get these both back in again with that lugworm. I do try and travel as light as possible inside the tackle box. What have we got in here? Filleting knife, it's always quite useful. Scissors, bait scissors. Two types of measures really. I can take the match measure, it's a lot easier to lay a fish on it. I also take this bass measure as well, more for when I'm fishing with the lures in the summer. But this is really good, you can get them from ukbass.com, which are the Bass Anglers Sports Fish Society. What that does, other than provide me with a longer measure for a longer fish, if I ever get one, is it gives the estimated size, length of a bass and what the poundage will be. So you can see if you get a 47.5 centimetre, it's most likely, according to the cumulative records, to be 2.5 pounds there. So, and I'm also just testing it out with my catches just to see how accurate it is. Leads in there, obviously, plenty of these, plenty of the bait elastic. I've got some of that in bags, some of that separately, some in my pocket. It's the sort of thing I'll always lose, so yeah, really important that. Lots of that around. Spare line, spare spools. That's a mono spool for the, you can see under there, that's monofilament line with a tapered leader on for the AVX fixed spool. Now we've got braid on it at the moment. Little odds and sods, am I allowed to say that? So things like swivels, spare hooks, things like that. Only basically what I need. All the rigs are made up onto these foam spools for what I need. So I've got a load of those at home, and then I just bring the ones I need. Worth keeping some in a cleaner bag as well. Stop the rust. What else we got? Yeah. A few beads, bigger hooks, things like that. Floating beads, light beads, float stops for some reason. I won't be using a float today. Spare reel, if you ever have a broken reel and no spool, that could come in handy, although it's a bit heavy to carry. Hook disgorgers. What's your favourite hook disgorger? I find this quite useful, where you pull it through, wrench the hook out backwards. These 4-set ones are slightly easier for neatly hooked fish. So that just sits in there really, and that's it, plus all the bait, and then of course I've got all the filming stuff. But always a little bit of a worry getting those rocklings because they're slow to the bait compared to the whiting and the dogfish. So that does tend to indicate there's not that many of the other type around. But we are, as always, I'm trying to be optimistic. There is a chance of fishing through them and get something a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to double my efforts. We've got all those baits in there now. Just hope for something a little bit more interesting. My friend next door's given up, but a few more anglers have come down. So I think the word is that there might be something other than rockling around. There's a guy to our left here. He's getting whiting. He's very close in on light tackle. Nice way to fish. So we shall see. We shall see. I've had a bass from here before. I don't think we'll get one today. Or maybe we will. Who knows? I don't know if you've heard about Skillshare, but Skillshare is an online learning community full of thousands of inspiring classes for creators. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in your creativity. It's curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads, and they're always launching new premium classes, so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. Skillshare is really good. I've been doing a number of classes. A lot of these are to do with YouTube, and I know a lot of us here also have our own YouTube channels. There'd be stuff that would appeal to you there as well, I think. I've personally been enjoying Marcus Brownlee's YouTube success. I find the short lessons really engaging, and it's really helped me with this YouTube channel. And the first 1,000 of my subscribers, click on the link below. You get a free 1 month of Skillshare. It's hard to see the bites because that lead is stuck fast. It means that you'll hook up a lot of fish, but they won't register quite so well. There might be something on there. Our little friend behind us, look. Oh, this has got some weight to it, at least. Into a little bit of current, but it's still no thud on the rod. But there's some weight on here. That's a good fish, or more than one fish, I think. He's taken 2 hooks. There's a bit of weight in there because of that weed, look. Greedy little. Blue skies. And that's just typical of the weather in this country, isn't it? Too much weed on the rod tip. I have to hand line it up. Oh. Another thing you can do for the dab is use the tail of a fish or a sprat. I've actually used the tail of the dab we caught earlier and just tip the lug with it. Sprats tails people used to use. Might make a difference, attract another dab. Might make a difference to attract another dab. Remember, we've got merch now. You can check out the merch in the shop. We've got some great stickers. We've also got t-shirts, hats, things like that. It really does help the channel out. So please comment below. Are you out fishing in these tricky times? The dab should be here, and we've had a very strange green one. It worked. Straight in. Another little dab, lovely. So that was with, and I wonder whether that makes a difference, those little sprat tails, or the tails off the dab, the original dab. They are a small fish, but they are lovely. Really pleased to get another one, and you can see that's the normal colour of a dab. You compare that to the one that we caught earlier, totally different. Just about in size. It is a small one. I'm going to put another bait out, I think. I was going to go, but isn't that great? It worked a treat. Little attractant. I wonder whether that makes all the difference, you know. Lovely. Test. Well, oh.